Hello everyone, welcome to Online Educator. Today we'll be posting a video about the anatomical terminology. So let us get started. Today we are going to be learning about the terms of relationship. Now these are the terms that describe the relationship of parts of the body or compare the position of two structures relative to each other. Some of these terms are specific for comparisons made in anatomical positions or with reference to the anatomical planes. The first word that we are going to learn today is superior. Superior refers to a structure that is nearer to the vertex, the topmost part of the cranium. Cranial relates to the cranium and is a useful directional term, meaning to say it is pointing towards the head or the cranium. Then we have something that is known as inferior. Inferior refers to a structure that is situated nearer to the sole of the foot, also known as caudal. It is useful in describing words that are directed towards the feet or tail region. In humans, it is represented by the coccyx, also known as the tailbone, the small bone at the inferior or caudal end of the vertebral column. Then we have posterior, dorsal, which denotes the back surface of the body or nearer the back. Then we have the anterior or ventral, which denotes the front surface of the body. Rostral is often used instead of anterior when describing parts of the brain. It means towards the rostrum. However, in humans it denotes nearer the anterior part of the head. Example, the frontal lobe of the brain is rostral through the cerebellum. Medial is used to indicate that a structure is nearer to the median plane of the body. For example, the fifth digit of the hand, that is the little finger, is medial to the other digits. On the other hand, we have the lateral. Lateral means, or it indicates a structure that is further away from the median plane. For example, the first digit of the hand, that is the thumb, is lateral to the other digits. We have dorsum, which usually refers to the superior aspect of or part of the body that protrudes anteriorly, such as the dorsum of the tongue, nose, and the foot. It is also used to describe the posterior surface of the hand opposite the palm. Because the term dorsum may refer to both superior and posterior surfaces in human, the term is easier to understand if one thinks of a quadrupedal plantigrade animal that walks on its palm and soles, such as a bear, and the sole is the inferior aspect or the bottom of the foot, opposite to the dorsum. The surface of the hands and the feet and the digits of both corresponding to the dorsum is known as the dorsal surface. The surface of the hands and fingers corresponding to the palm is known as the palmar surface, and the surface of the foot and toes corresponding to the sole is known as plantar surface. Combined terms describe intermediate positional arrangement. For example, inferomedial means nearer to the foot and lying in the median plane. Then we have the superior lateral, which means nearer to the head and farther from the median plane. There are other terms of relationship and comparison which are independent of anatomical positions and anatomical planes, relating primarily to the body surface or its central core. Then, here is a small picture showing all of what I have discussed earlier. We also have something that is learned in terms of describing the structures of the skin, that is superficial, intermediate, and deep, which describes the position of structures relative to the surface of the body, that is the skin, or the relationship of one structure to another lying or overlying structures. We have external, means outside, of, or farther away from the center of an organ or cavity, while internal means inside or closer to the center, independent of direction. Then two very common words which are used are proximal and distal. These are very contrasting positions, which proximal meaning nearer, distal meaning farther away from the attachment of a limb or the central aspect of a linear structure. Then we have something that is known as terms of laterality. Now, when we study paired structures having the right and left members, for example, when we study about kidneys, when we study about limbs or foot, then we get to know, then we use these terms, which are the terms of laterality. Now there are structures which are bilateral. For example, the kidneys, those which are occurring on both sides, right and left side. Then we have something that only occur on the one side of the body, which are known as the unilateral structures. For example, spleen. Now designating whether you are referring specifically to the right or left member of a bilateral structure can be critical, and it is always a good habit to begin at the outset of one's training to becoming a health professional. Now we have another term which is known as ipsilateral, which means something occurring on the same side of the body as another structure. For example, the right thumb and the right great toe are ipsilateral because they both lie on the right side of the body. We have contralateral, which means occurring on the opposite side of the body relative to another structure. For example, the right hand is contralateral to the left hand. Now we have anatomical variations. A wide variation is found in the size, shape and form of the attachments of muscles. We also have variation in veins, which is the most amount of variation, and the nerve have the least amount of variation. Individual variation must be considered in physical examination, diagnosis and treatment. These are the references. The notes will be posted in the description box below. Do make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know what other topics you want to get a video on. Thanks.